Our last class, we stopped at trimming, how to trim data. So we're going to continue from there. All right, so after trimming your data, the next data cleaning process you can take is changing the casing. So let's say you want to change a particular information from um, what case. So let's say you want to change the casing. Maybe you came across a data set that the column is in capital letter instead of small letter. How do you no not small letter, sorry, instead of proper case. Yes, proper case is when the is just like this, like when the first alphabet is in capital letter and then the rest is a small letter. That's a proper case. So how do you change it? So first we are going to learn how to change to uppercase. So before you do that, you have to create what we call a helper column. So a helper column is just a new column, right? So I want to create it beside at the right side. So I'll click on this column and insert a new column. So this new column is called a helper column. Now to change it to uppercase, you start with equals to. So we start with equals to in Excel whenever you're writing a formula. So after equals to, you type the word upper. So upper is for uppercase. You double tap on it, then select the first cell of the column that you want to change to uppercase. Then click on enter. So you see it has been changed to uppercase. Then to replicate it down to the other cells, you just double click on it. You just double click. So you see it has been replicated. Then if you want to delete one, because these are two columns with the same information. So let's say you want to delete one. If you say you want to delete this one there, you see that this will give you error. So we can't delete this main column. So what you will do is that you copy this column and paste it here. You paste it as values, as one, two, three, paste it as values. So you see it has replicated itself, okay? So now you can now delete one column. So let's delete this one. So yes, now we have so now we have a column, now we have the column in capital letter. So let's say you want to change it to lowercase, you also do the same thing, right? You do the same thing. Yes, push shift move here. Sorry. So you do the same thing. Start with equals to, then you write lower because it's lowercase, so you write lower. Double click, then select the first cell. Click on enter. It has been changed to lowercase. So to replicate, you double click, you double tap on this. Then to delete one, you copy this and you paste here as values. Then you can now go ahead and delete one, right? So you can now go ahead and delete this one, this one, this one. So that's how we go about it. So if it's for proper case is the same thing. Equals to proper. Then you click on this, click on enter, it has changed to proper case. Then you double tap and you copy and paste. Then you can delete one, can delete this one. So you can have one here. So let's put back the column name shift mode. So these have changed from uppercase to lowercase and so on. So this is how we do the changing. So after the casing, the next thing we are going to do is we are going to learn how to deal with missing values and empty rows. So let's say you come across a data that you meet a row that is empty, and you know that most times you'll be dealing with large data sets, so you can't say you want to start deleting them one by one. You want to start scrolling to check how many empty rows you have and all that. So what you just do is this. So you have to these two empty rows. It might be more. We're assuming that it's more. So what you will do is first you highlight this whole data set by clicking on this place. So after highlighting it, then you go to under your home tab here, you go to find and select, and you go to special, then you click on blanks, then click on OK. So it's going to filter the two blank rows we have. So after you see the two blank rows, you can now click on this delete here to delete the blank rows, right? So that's how to delete empty rows. So in case you see empty cell, let me say something like this. There's no value here, and there's no value here either. So how do you go about it? You can't delete this cell, because when you delete this cell, you're deleting this row, because this cell is in a row, right? Is in this row 6. So you can't delete a cell. If you delete a cell, you delete a row. So instead of deleting it, you are advised to fill it up with a value. So for a text column, that's a column that is filled with the information inside its alphabet. You fill it with null or unknown. Null means empty, or you fill it with unknown. Then for a number column, like this column here that is filled with numbers, you fill it with zero. Fill it with zero. Alright, so let's fill it up. So click here, click here to select the data, then go to find and select again, go to special, click on blanks, click on OK. So it's going to filter out the two empty cells. So the next thing you do is to start typing what you want to put. So we are writing unknown, you start typing unknown. So after you're done typing unknown, then click on shift and enter. Sorry, it should be control and enter, not shift and enter. So let's do that again. So unknown, then control and enter. If you click on control and enter, it will fill up other cells, it will move to the other cell, right? That's if it's more than one empty cell, it will also replicate itself, right? So but in case you have number columns like this that you cannot put unknown in, what you have to do is you have to work on it one by one. So you select these two. Let's say you have these two. Let's say you have these two. Let's say you have this. I want to delete this information. So let's say you have this cell empty, and this cell empty. So you're not going to select the whole data set by at the same time, because we have two different cell. I mean, three different columns. This column is a test column. This is also a test column. It's a test column because is a text that is combining with a number. A number column has only numbers, it cannot have a text. And immediately you start having a text, it becomes a text column. But this one is a number column. So what we will do is I do it one by one. First you select these two columns. To select these two columns, when you click on the first one, hold your control key and then click on the second one to select the two columns at once. Then when you select the two columns, you now go to your find and select, click on blanks, then OK. Then when it filters out the empty cells, write unknown and then click on control and enter. Then after you're done with that one, you can now come to this number one, select the column, go to find and select, go to special, click on blank and then OK. So you see that is empty, right? It has selected the empty cell. So you just write 0. So assuming there is more than one, you write zero, then you press Control and Enter. So that's it for that. So this is how we deal with missing values and empty rows, and then missing values and missing rows. Let's put it down. That's how we do with missing values and missing rows. So the next thing we are going to learn is how to remove duplicates. So I already explained, I think we did how to remove duplicate the last time. I'm not sure. So if we didn't do how to remove, let me just repeat it in case I can't remember. So to remove duplicate, you have to select your data here, click here to select your data. Then go to your data tab, then go to common under your data tools. Then you see this white and blue, or is it blue and white icon here? It might not be the same for you, but just look for where under the data tools, look for the icon that shows remove duplicate. So you click on it. It will automatically select all the columns because we selected every column in the data set. Then click on OK, and then it will tell you two duplicate value found and removed, and these unique values remain. So you now click on OK. So that's simply how to remove duplicate. So after that, the next thing we are going to learn now is how to split a column and how to join a column. So to split a column, let's say you have a column that has first name and second name, just like this customer in your customer sheet, just like this customer name. You want to separate it so that one column will have first name, so another column will have second name. So how do we do that? First, you have to create a helper column. So the number of the helper column you create depends on how many splits you want to do. So if you want to split it two times, you create two helper column. So um I want to split it three times. There's some names that are three here. I've worked on this before. There's some names that are three here. So just in case that somebody names it is three. So we create three helper columns. So you just right click and click on insert, right click on insert to create your helper column. So we have three helper columns here. So the next thing to do is to select this column. Then under your data tab, go to test two columns. So you see that delimited is selected. So delimited are characters such as comma or tab separate each field. So delimited are characters that separate fields, like things that separate two words. Like this our column now, Clara cute is a space that is separating them. So a space is a delimiter. Looking at this column now is a dash that is separating these two word or these two information. So the dash is the delimiter. So we are going to separate this column using delimiter. That means anywhere you see space, it will split from there. So that's what this delimiter is. So always split by delimited. So you click on next. Then here is where you see different delimiters. So you click on space because it's space that we are using. So the delimiter you choose depending on the column you are working with. So if we are to split this column here now, this column customer ID, we'll be using dash. So if you are to split this customer ID now, you will use order and then you put dash if you are to split that customer ID, but that's not what we are splitting. We are splitting customer name. So this data preview will tell you what's going on. So you see, I told you one of the words is split into three. It has three names, so that's why I created column, three helper column. So the thing is that if you don't create a helper column, any column beside it, if you don't create a helper column, when you split, it will delete the information in the column beside the one that you splitted. So that's why it's important to split. So the next thing is to click on next. Then come to this destination, tap on the destination box, then come over to the first cell of the first column you created. Tap on it, then click on finish. So you see we've splitted our column. So you can now put the column name here, first name, second name, and third name. So this third name is just one person that has three names. So we'll delete it. So this is how we split a column, right? Mm, second name or surname, anyone. So this is how we split a column. So now we're going to learn how to combine it together again. So let's say you see a column that has first name and second name, and you want it to be, you see a data set that has first name and second name, and you want it to have only full name. You want them to be in one column. So how do you go about that? You will combine the columns together. So how do you combine the columns together? You do what? First of all, you always have to create a helper column. So I've created a helper column. So I'll now start with equals to. So we're going to use a formula. So start with equals to. After equals to, then select the first cell. Then click on shift and your number 7 key. If you press shift and then press your number 7, the number 7 your keyboard, it has this sign. So if you press shift and that number 7, it's going to give you the sign. Then click on this second cell. Then click on enter. You see it has done it for us, but you notice that there is no space in between them. So to create a space in between them, see how you go about it. So after the ampersand, you put double quote space, then another double quote, then another ampersand. Then you press enter. So it has created a space. So if you look at it, see, equals to C2 ampersand double quote space double quote ampersand D2. So this is how we combine this column. So we can now double click here. You can now double click here to replicate it. So now we've created this, combined it again. So this is how you combine two columns. So if you want to combine three columns, it's still the same thing. Just that you add the third column you want to combine. So let's assume that this column is the third name, or is a third name, and want to combine it to have first name, second name, and other names, right? Then you start with equals to, then first select this, then ampersand, then quote space, quote, ampersand again, select this, ampersand, space, quote space, quote, ampersand, then you select this, then you click on enter. You see that we've combined three columns. So this is how you combine three columns together. That's anytime you have a need of it. So this is how you combine column. So the last thing we're going to talk about on data cleaning is using the find and replace function. So let's say sometimes you see a data set and you'll be seeing something like this, something like this, that is just there, and it's not supposed to be there, and you shouldn't leave it that way. So how can you remove it? So let's say it's here too, and it's here and it's in different places. How do you remove it? So you cannot start, tapping on these things one by one to remove it. So how do you remove it? First, you select your data, then you go to under your home tab, you go to find and select, then you go to replace, then if you want to find, you open bracket, close the bracket, and then put asterisk inside. So this asterisk means everything. So it's going to find open bracket, close bracket that has any value inside. So the asterisk means any value at all. So it might not mean the same values, right? It might not be the same value, but anything that is in a bracket, any bracket that has any information inside should be removed. That's what it means. Then we're replacing it with what? With nothing. We just want it to go, and then let it replace with space. So we'll now click on replace all. So all done, we made 65 replacements. Then click on OK, and then cancel this, you see that those unnecessary information have disappeared. So this is how we make use of find and replace. So this is it for data cleaning. So I you just watch this video and try it out by yourself. And if you have any question, please ask. All right. Thank you guys so much.